Hey, how you doing? My name is Keston Fulcher. I'm a professor in the graduate psychology program at James Madison University. In short, that's JMU. I also serve as the executive director of the Center for Assessment and Research Studies, also known as CARS. CARS is the unit that provides most of the financial support to students. So let's dig into that financial support. Financial support is a critical factor when considering graduate studies. I can tell you from personal experience. In one of the years that I was a graduate student, I didn't have any financial support. And it took me years to pay off the tens of thousands of dollars that I had in debt. So I'm hoping you can find a situation in your own graduate pursuits where you don't take on so much debt. I'm going to provide you with three questions that you should ask any graduate program that you're applying to. Then I'll speak more specifically to the type of support that we provide to students in the assessment and measurement doctoral program. The first question is, how many years does funding typically last for a student in the program? The next question is whether the program provides support throughout the entire year, including the summer, or just for the academic year. Having support during the summer means you can spend more time with research and scholarship and publishing, and less time having to scramble for a job that may or may not be related to your career pursuits. Third, and finally, consider whether the activities that you do in your assistantship relate to your educational and professional goals. As you might imagine, because I asked those questions, GMU and specifically the Center for Assessment and Research Studies does a really nice job in supporting students through the PhD program. Let me speak to those three questions that I asked just a moment ago. Through our graduate assistantships, we have a great track record of supporting students financially. And that's for the 3 or 4 years that students are typically in the doc program. The package includes tuition, whether you are in state or out of state, and also a stipend to live off of. Additionally, the GA-ship covers the summer. So if you want to do more research or scholarship with your advisor, for example, then you have the opportunity to do so. I should also mention that some students opt to do a summer internship outside of JMU to gain some additional experience related to a type of job that they might want. And I'll work with those students to make sure they have that kind of flexibility. And finally, the types of activities that you do in your GA-ship are directly related to what you learn in your classes and also to the types of jobs that you'll likely have when you get out into the working world. So students will work on every part of the assessment process and do things like collect data, analyze data, report on data, meet with clients. They'll also conduct workshops, oftentimes with 20 or 30 people. So the types of experiences that students have in their assistantships often make them much, much more marketable when they go out to apply for a job. I should point out that with tuition and with stipend, for some students, that works out to over $40,000 per year. So across 4 years, many students receive over $150,000 worth of assistance. Let me field a couple bonus questions that I often get asked by students who are starting their assistantships. The first is, how do I get up to speed? So I'm coming to this assistantship, but I might not have the knowledge and the skills needed to complete the assistantship well. Well, that's okay. We don't expect students coming in the door to know everything. In fact, we spend a lot of time and thought scaffolding up activities so students get more and more proficient as they get closer and closer to graduation. For example, the first week that students arrive, typically in June, we provide something called Assessment 101. It's a week-long training on the foundations of assessment that ranges from articulating student learning outcomes all the way to using results for improvement. And then the first assignment that we typically give graduate students are something that students can do well, even with just beginning knowledge in the area. But over time, new students learn from older students, and year after year, they get stronger and stronger. Till close to graduation, they're often leading teams working on assessment projects. The types of knowledge and skills that are valuable to just about any employer. The other question I get asked is, what exactly is that relationship between the Center for Assessment and Research Studies and the PhD program in assessment and measurement? It turns out that they're tightly connected. In fact, most of the instructors in the PhD program also work in the Center for Assessment and Research Studies. What this means for you is that the person who taught the course that you took may also be the supervisor for your assistantship. And this integration allows for some awesome opportunities. I've seen, for example, some work that starts in a class that relates to the assistantship that also turns into scholarship. And this integration is one of the hallmarks of the PhD program in assessment and measurement. Thanks so much for hanging out with me over the last few minutes to talk about financial support and the graduate assistantships at the Center for Assessment and Research Studies. If you'd like to learn more, I encourage you to check out our website and also the many videos that we've posted about the center and also about the PhD program. I wish you the best of luck in finding a PhD program that meets your needs, and I do hope you consider our PhD program in assessment and measurement. Take care, and I hope to see you around.